Rick Steele here with another betting tips YouTube video for you on this occasion. And the topic that we're gonna tackle this week is 2020 MLB betting. So we are getting closer to an opening pitch for real, fingers crossed, and it will be 60 games in 66 days. So let's attack this topic as we get ready and go in and delve into the details. I'm going to devote this betting tips video to that topic. And in addition, the next two betting tip articles that I produce that do go out on Sunday morning straight to your emails, we're going to also attack and get into the nitty-gritty details on how we can prepare for this season as well. And as mentioned in previous videos, as we continue to remain on pause, hopefully not for that much longer, MLB looks like opening pitch July 23rd, NBA will tip off July 30th, and the NHL towards the beginning of August is on track as well. So we will be coming up to a busy time, again, keeping fingers crossed with what's going on out there in society. But while we continue to remain on pause, I want to re-stress to continue to educate yourself, to continue to add tools and techniques to your tool chest in order to become a more successful, more profitable sports handicapper. And obviously that's my goal as well, to help you in that process. All that I ever ask for in return is if you could subscribe to my YouTube channel, simply hit the button, and that will allow me to continue to spend the time and money that is necessary to produce these videos. And as we get closer, within the end of July, I'll be able to also obviously produce videos that will be returning back to actual sports picks and sports bets that we'll be making on a daily basis. I'll provide you with the videos, I'll provide you with the tools and techniques that I use to break down games. And again, all that I ask for and appreciate your support is if you could subscribe to my channel. So let's delve into this topic that we're talking about, looking back in the past, how we can prepare ourselves for this condensed schedule, and also the rule changes that are going to be in place as well. So what can we do? Well, as mentioned prior as well, you need to download my app. For Apple and Android, those links are available in the description section of this video. Also on the home page of my website, it will take you to the links in order to download the app. There you'll be able to bet what I bet, get the same bets that I make, analyze, and analysis of each bet is provided for you in the app. Also alerts and also running records broken down by sport as we produce these bets throughout the year. The app also allows you obviously to be mobile. So if you turn on the alerts and follow me across social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, my handle is @RickSteele99. Each time throughout the day, I update the app with new picks. You'll get an alert to your phone simply telling you to go to the app whereby there is a new bet. So, MLB Spring Training 2.0, the reboot is about to occur. And as mentioned prior to the shutdown, we were betting some spring training games. We did end up going 2-0, haha, small sample size, as I always stress. So there, you'll be able to also through Twitter, for the first little while, with any spring training bets that we do make, I will be tweeting those out as opposed to putting them on the app. I do recommend that you bet these at half of the regular unit bet that you make. These are all geared to starting lineups, so there is a little less lead time when you do get the alert that I am making a spring training bet. There probably won't be much more of these in the reboot as we head to the opening day, simply because each team is probably going to play a maximum of 3 games. That's what they are mandating at this point in time. So that's one thing that you can prepare for as we get ready for the first launch of sports in relation to baseball. In addition, as I mentioned before, line shopping all year round is important and critical. And in order to effectively line shop, Obviously, you need to have many sports books funded so that you can bet at the same lines that I bet at, and also obviously get the line that is best out there. You don't want to be paying. It's critical to success at any time through the sports betting year. To bet what I bet at the same sports books that I bet at, the most trustworthy, and most importantly, you will get paid when you win. You'll find the sports books that I bet at, the links where I bet at the homepage of my website, pshltd.com. And also, as mentioned, you'll also find it in the description section of this video. So there will allow you to bet at the same sports books that I bet at. If you also want to sign up for my betting tips articles that are sent straight to emails every Sunday morning, you can also go to the homepage of my website. There you'll see a button called Betting Tips. Simply click on that. There, it will take you to a place where you can email and input your email address. I'll add you to the mailing list, and there, each and every Sunday morning through the year, you'll get another selected betting tip article. So that's where we are right now as far as we're talking about and providing you with spring training bets. So let's delve into what we can now do in regard to the 2020 MLB season. Obviously, better late than never, which was definitely a possibility. How did we get here? Disgusting, no doubt about it as far as the negotiations were concerned. Is MLB a hot mess? Yeah. Are the rule changes, in my opinion, bad for the game? Yeah. Regardless, as mentioned again, on July 23rd, we're going to be playing ball for real. We're going to take advantage of it, handicap, and bet it. Is it cause for celebration? Yeah, it's been long enough. Let's get back to what we do best, and that is sports betting. Let's first look back on what happened in 2019. 2019 sports betting for MLB, yeah, it was an improvement over 2018, which was not good at all. But what about the second half in relation to 2019 sports betting? It was even better. I continued to adapt the handicapping techniques that I always mention you have to do in regard to changes in the marketplace. Using openers, that's something that has become a trend. Stud pitchers only going 6 innings max and then being pulled. Strikeouts have become more prevalent. Moving runners, who cares? The emphasis has become on the home run. Believe me, I've already made the necessary adjustments so far to have a profitable 2020 based on the changes. And now we look at a few more things that are taking place. This year, more than ever, morning bets. We're going to take advantage because last year what happened in the marketplace, the lines more times than not moved against us. So we're going to jump in with morning bets, maybe even some overnight lines to take advantage of if we see value before the lines move. That will help us to time the market more effectively, which I want to do as well, always want to do, but it wasn't an effective, successful period as far as timing the market. Too many of our bets got priced out of line while waiting, so we'll jump on and earlier if that's the trend that I see this year. Now, next, this is usually where I talk about how baseball is such a marathon more than any other sport than a sprint, but it won't be this year, just the opposite. As mentioned, teams are going to play 60 games in 66 days to determine who gets into the playoffs. What are some of the other rule changes that you may not be aware of? Regardless of the delay, one of the rules that was being implemented, that a pitcher coming in from the bullpen has to see a minimum of 3 batters. This, in my opinion, sucks as far as a rule is concerned, but we don't get a vote. They don't ask our opinion. So how does this impact us from a betting perspective? Well, bullpen handicapping, which I've stressed for the last 3 years especially, is going to become even more important. Deep, talented, rested bullpens, relief pitchers that can get lefties and righties out, all important factors. Also believe that this rule is going to lead to higher scoring games. 60 games in 66 days, well, there's going to be no throwaway games now for managers. So look for managers to extend pitchers who are going to pull out all stops to obviously get into the playoffs and win each and every game. The universal DH is going to be for both leagues. As far as this year is concerned, we have to stay tuned, not looking too far ahead, to see if that's going to be a rule that ends up taking place for permanently. But we'll deal with that next time. If a game goes into extra innings, they don't want to play too many 15-plus inning games. So what's going to happen is a runner at the beginning of each inning is going to be placed on second base. So look for that to occur. Not sure yet how this is going to affect handicapping. We'll have to play this one more by ear. Obviously, it is going to shorten games. What's going to happen? They're going to put a runner on second. They're going to bunt him over to third and hope for the sacrifice fly. That's a given. But what you do want to take into account with this shortened schedule is strength of schedule. That's going to become even more important as you're handicapping games as well. And also make note of that putting a runner on second as far as the extra inning games are concerned. Now, some standard stuff that we do on a yearly basis. You obviously always want to bet listed pitchers. Unless I specify differently in my game analysis, make sure you reach each and every game analysis. You should already be doing that anyway, because that gives you the tools that I use to handicap games, and it will help you to become a more efficient, profitable sports bettor as well, as mentioned before. This is going to also ensure, as we bet listed pitchers, that we're not going to get caught by surprise. If our pitcher does not throw at least one pitch to start the game, then the bet is refunded. Now, sometimes we're also going to only specify our listed pitcher in the event that the other better pitcher, when we're on a substantial dog, does not go. So you want to have that flexibility in the sports book as well. Pinnacle and 5 Dimes, to mention just two, do offer whereby you can specify only one starting pitcher who will start the game. Simply click on the banner of my website if you're not a member of Pinnacle or 5 Dimes yet. Pinnacle not available to U.S. customers, 5 Dimes is. And again, you simply have to open your account, fund your account, and you'll be ready to go, because you only want to deal with sports books that are offering 10-cent lines. If you are not, then you're giving away money. Realize, especially this season, there's going to be many different first pitch times as well. Your job at the beginning of every day is to know the various times that games go off. To ensure that you never miss a bet, you simply have to follow me again on Twitter, at RickSteele99. Hit the bell at the top of the Twitter page. That will provide you with alerts each and every time that I send out a tweet. And as mentioned prior, each time that I update the app with a new bet, I do send out a tweet. You'll be alerted. It allows you to stay mobile. It also allows you to never miss a bet. A lot of times, and especially this year, I never make a bet until I know what the starting lineups are for each team. Sometimes that gets a little tight. Usually it's at least 1 hour before first pitch if we are waiting that long, getting maximum line value, as I've mentioned previously, but it's not that cumbersome if you know how to use the social media. In addition, with social media, I provide you with all the latest sports betting news in a timely fashion. As like any other time of the year, there's going to be times where we bet our plays in stages. So again, you just have to be mobile and provide yourself with all the latest technology so you don't miss any bets. Let's get into a bit more techniques as far as betting baseball. There is a sweet place in MLB lines, minus 140 to minus 180, where the public is hesitant to lay that juice. Now, making picks in this range where appropriate is commonplace for us, where we're finding value. Some of those games should actually be priced at minus 2 to 250, so those lines sometimes are most attractive. We find ourselves in that range often. A pitcher, keep in mind, that does not get strikeouts or ground balls could be subject to big innings. When you're betting totals, you want to look to play overs for the first 9 innings and under for the first 5 innings, as not to be exposed to the unpredictable nature of bullpens. On that same note, The new trend in baseball, as we know, is to get the pitcher through 6 innings. Turn it over to the specialists for the final 9 outs. It's becoming more and more difficult for a team that is trailing after 6 innings to come back with how good some of these back end of the bullpens are now structured. So when you handicap a game, and if for that play, most of your value is tied up in the starting pitching matchup, or you have a substantial disadvantage in the bullpen, another opportunity to bet it for only the first 5 innings, if there is value, because that line is swayed to the first 5 innings to begin with. So you have to obviously calculate that in your handicapping techniques. As MLB, teams that are seeing a same pitcher, again, over a short period of time, well, were the experienced pitcher who's able to adjust, that becomes a non-issue. For the pitcher that throws or is young and throws the same stuff, that lineup, seeing them for a quick second time with this condensed schedule, the advantage is going to go to that other team and offenses as well. Warmer weather, as we know, the ball travels better, equals more runs. Day games, batters see the ball better, equals more runs. Games starting at 4 to 5 p.m. local time, you have shadows. That has a big impact on the game as far as the batter being able to see the ball. That will equal less runs. The way MLB is played these days, a huge chunk of your handicapping should be focused on the bullpen, specifically the closer, the setup man, and the recent usage. Take a look, especially who has the tired bullpen, who has the depth, and who does not. Remember, when handicapping any game in any sport, you have to have multiple reasons why to bet one side or another. It's never enough to just have one item that you focus in on and that you would consider to be able to produce your value. It just doesn't happen that way. Now, we also know that the majority of the baseball line is set, used, and based on the starting pitching matchup. So you're not going to find a lot of value when you're measuring starting pitcher to starting pitcher. It's already baked into the line. So keep that thought in your process as you're handicapping the game. And then what you want to do is take a look at, now, is the gap between starting pitcher A and starting pitcher B accurately depicted in the line? More times than not, yes. However, you will find some value sometimes. Why? Because sometimes it's reputation versus reality. As a pitcher, people look back on the name and expect them to be pitching the same way that they did 10 years ago. That just doesn't happen that way. So you want to look for pitchers that are underrated starting wise and overrated, but these are few and far between. Your focus needs to turn towards head-to-head matchups. It needs to turn towards offenses and what kind of path and groove they are in. And also, as mentioned as well, especially you want to look at the bullpens. They have a big impact on, obviously, who wins and loses the game. And the starting pitching, although obviously critical and important, more times than not, you're going to automatically already have that baked into these lines. So take a look at that. Similar to the team concept, a pitcher who has been very good for a long time may not be so good anymore. So that's that reputation versus reality that I've mentioned in before. Next topic. Again, in regard to line shopping, shop. In order to do that, you need many sports books. Do your line shopping. It's so important and critical to success in sports betting all year round. You don't want to bet a game at 140 where you can get it at 132. You don't want to bet a game at plus 112 when it's available at plus 119. To bet at the same sports books and get the same lines that I get, again, to stress, you'll find those books that are highlighted on the homepage of my website, pshltd.com. Click on the link, takes you to the sports book, open up your account, and that way you get the same lines as I get. Remember, regardless of the dollar amount of your unit, even 1 cent in the difference of a line over the course of a season results in substantial dollars left on the table, and that's not even dealing with the difference that you take into account on your win-loss percentage. Even in the same amount of wins versus losses, if you can do effective line shopping, it will add dollars to your bottom line. It could mean the difference between a winning and a losing season. That's how important it is. In fact, if the line is moved too much, or you can't get the line that I've gotten or bet at, which you should be able to do through, again, providing yourself with the alerts by turning it on the app and follow me across social media, and instigating and following when I do send out the bet to go check the line, I can guarantee you, you will be able to get the same lines. Wait too long, 2 or 3 hours, that line could very well be gone. So that's what I'm going to stress in regard to this area. If you're not getting the same line, again, there's two main reasons. You're waiting too long to bet the game. We do deal in a fluid marketplace, or you're not dealing with the same sports books or enough sports books to be able to effectively line shop. Next issue, again, you have to deal with sports books, and there are plenty out there that offer a 10-cent line on MLB. There's others that offer 20 cents, 30 cents, even up to 40 cents. You will not be able to have a profitable season if that's the type of lines that you're betting into. Now, have your sportsbook accounts all open, funded, book them, listed, and that way you will be able to also have a profitable sports betting baseball season as well. Our pause on sports betting is about to end. I will be beginning to provide future sports YouTube videos with actual picks. We'll be getting back to those again for all sports. Football is not that far off as well. We have our dates set as far as when MLB is opening up again, when NBA is opening up again. Hockey, not specifically a date, but it does look like the beginning to mid of August. So we are going to get busy again. We've made it through the tough part of our pause on sports betting, and hopefully there is a light at the end of the tunnel. If anyone has any questions in any of these areas on any topics that I've covered, as mentioned as well, you can shoot me an email or also through social media, and I'll address any questions that you've had. All that I ever ask for in return for this support is to put you on a few more winners. That's what my goal is, and we'll be returning to that goal very shortly with actual videos on sports picks. And in addition, to educate you to become a more profitable sports bettor. And I appreciate your support by simply clicking on the subscribe button on this video. Thank you in advance for your support. Let's go. Let's wait it out. Let's continue to improve our processes. And before we know it, we'll be back to our conventional and regular sports betting on a daily basis. Thank you again for your support.